In writing the screenplay for Evil Dead 2, you collaborated with another
Scott
filmmaker and
Spiegel.
crony of yours, Scott Spiegel.
Right.
Uh, when the two of you were working together, how did that collaboration work?
Um, well, we sat down in rooms like all writers. It's a miserable and lonely job of writing scripts, and had a typewriter and just started talking about ideas and hammering them down on the keyboard, and then we would tear that up and start over again. And we wrote it in Detroit, basically, in our offices in Ferndale, Michigan. And you know, John, Renaissance Pictures has the largest motion picture company in Ferndale.
I see. MGM
Yes.
moved that then. They're no longer there?
No, MGM has determined that they couldn't handle the competition there, and they've moved back to Hollywood. Uh-huh.
Sam, I remember when you were writing Relentless, which then became Crime Wave, that you would actually build kind of storyboards into the script, into those early drafts. Is that still your practice?
No, no, that was some weird middle zone I was in. I was confused.
Brought on, no doubt, by the trappings of the apartment.
Yes, our apartment, where you and I served as crime busters. John and I would work together on solving all sorts of crimes in the neighborhood. We would hear a woman scream, John would run under the bed, and I would run outside trying to find the source of the imperiled party, so that I may bring them aid and help them in any way that I could.
Not to mention protecting Dave Goodman from assorted folks who were looking for him.
Right, for debts that he owed.
Evil Dead 2, once again, stars Bruce Campbell as Ash. And once again, he is brutally abused in the picture. The man just takes a great deal of torture in the film, including, of course, the very memorable scene in which he cuts off his hand rather, and then later fixes the chainsaw onto it. You've worked with Bruce on many pictures. How did the two of you communicate after all this time?
Well, Bruce was worried, I think, on that particular sequence that the audience would lose identification with him once he had lost his hand. He said, well, I'm not sure that the audience can understand a character who cuts off their hand in a movie and then still be forced to identify with him because they'll think he's just too crazy. And I said, well, that might be the case. And it was a questionable point, but I said, if we present the scene right, that your hand is possessed by this evil, and it's trying to kill you, and we show how feverishly it's trying to kill you, and that really your only way to survive is to get rid of it, then I think they might even look at you as a hero as opposed to a crazy. And I hope that they look at him like that, or maybe they probably look at him a little both, like a kind of a crazy hero. But finally he accepted it, and I think it worked out okay. I haven't really had enough screenings to know what the audience thinks yet about that.
I think it really does, because there is so much screen time in which it's really just Bruce versus the demons, Bruce versus the special effects, and as an actor, he really sustains that screen time with his presence and his really terrific flair for comedy.
Yeah, he's a good comedian, strangely enough, and he's a very good physical actor. I guess that's the type of comedy that's most called upon him in Evil Dead 2, is like that physical slapstick type of comedy. Yeah, he's got to play a scene where his hand is possessed and it's always coming after him, doing all sorts of horrible stuff. And he's got a lot of physical stuff with battling the demons and flying on wires and all sorts of very demanding physical things, from falling down steps to mud scenes and really everything. And he was a real trooper about the whole thing. He's trying to get another part in a picture right now, and he in fact has decided, well, he's going to take off his co-producing cap from here on in and try and get a job just acting, straight acting now. And I think now that he's got this picture behind him, I don't know how the picture will do, but I think at least people will see, yeah, he's a good comedian. He's got a good screen presence. I think he can have a part in our picture. I hope they'll think that.